Biology. Biology, coined by Lamarck and Treviranus 1802, is branch of science which deals with study of living organisms. It mainly includes botany, study of plants, zoology, study of animals, and microbiology, study of microorganisms. Popular scientists and their contribution. Charles Darwin wrote Origin of Species and proposed theory of natural selection. Mendel, 1866, proposed law of inheritance and called father of genetics. N.E. Borlaug is called father of green revolution in world. M.S. Swaminathan is called father of green revolution in India. Anand Mohan Chakraborty developed superbug Pseudomonas putida by genetic engineering. Kohler and Milstein discovered hybridoma technology. Alex Zaffre discovered of DNA fingerprinting. Robert Hooke, 1665, discovered cell and wrote Micrographia. Weismann, 1885, proposed theory of germplasm. Hugo de Vries proposed mutation theory. Watson and Crick proposed double helical model of DNA. Hargobind Khorana artificially synthesized gene. Kerry Mullis, 1985, invented polymerase chain reaction. Living world. In 18th century, Carolus Linnaeus developed binomial nomenclature for living organisms, that is, scientific name consists of genus and species. Whittaker, 1969, classified living organisms into 5 kingdoms: Monera, Protista, fungi, plantae, and animalia. Monera includes bacteria and mycoplasma, while Protista includes protozoa and some eukaryotes. Viruses are submicroscopic, obligate, parasite, intracellular, consisting of nucleoprotein. W. M. Stanley crystallized TMV. Viroids are smallest infectious single-stranded RNA molecules discovered by T.O. Diener. The cell. According to cell theory proposed by Schleiden and Schwann, 1838, cell is the structural and functional unit of living organisms. An organism composed of single cell called unicellular or many cells called multicellular. Prokaryotic cell is found in bacteria, mycoplasma and blue-green algae, while eukaryotic cells in plants, animals and fungi. Cells are of 2 types, that is, prokaryotic, which lacks nucleus and membrane-bound organelles, and eukaryotic, which have nucleus and membrane-bound organelles. Human systems. The cell of human and other multicellular animals are organized into tissues. 2 or more tissues grouped together to form organs. An organ system is a group of organs that function together to carry out the principal activities of the body. Digestion. Digestion is the process by which complex food is converted into simple components with the help of digestive enzymes, that is, hydrolysis process. Page 121. Major enzymes of digestion given in a table. Column 1 enzyme, column 2 source, column 3 where active, column 4 substrate, column 5 main breakdown product. Carbohydrate digestion. Enzyme, salivary amylase, source salivary glands, active in mouth, substrate polysaccharides, main breakdown product disaccharides. Pancreatic amylase, source pancreas, active in small intestine, substrate polysaccharides, main breakdown product disaccharides. Enzyme disaccharates, source small intestine, active in small intestine, substrate disaccharides, main product breakdown monosaccharides, example glucose. Protein digestion. Enzyme pepsin, source stomach mucosa, where active stomach, substrate proteins, main breakdown product peptide fragments. Enzyme trypsin and chymotrypsin, source pancreas, active in small intestine, substrate proteins and polypeptide, main breakdown product peptide fragments. Enzyme carboxypeptidase, source pancreas, active in small intestine, substrate peptide fragments, main breakdown product amino acids. Enzyme aminopeptidase, source intestinal mucosa, active in small intestine, substrate peptide fragments, main breakdown product amino acids. Fat digestion. Enzyme lipase, source pancreas, active in small intestine, substrate triglycerides, main breakdown product free fatty acids monoglycerides. Nucleic acid digestion, pancreatic nuclease, source pancreas, active in small intestine, substrate DNA, RNA, main breakdown product nucleotides. Enzyme intestinal nucleases, source intestinal mucosa, active in small intestine, substrate nucleotides, main breakdown product nucleotide bases, monosaccharides. Respiratory system. Respiration in an oxidative process involving oxidation of food substances such as carbohydrate, fat and proteins to form carbon dioxide, water and release energy. Respiration may be anaerobic, that is without oxygen, and aerobic, that is with oxygen. Respiratory organs of animals. Organs and their animals. Lungs, reptiles and mammals. Skin, frog, earthworm, leeches. Gills, fishes, tadpoles, prawns. Tracheae, insects, centipedes, millipedes. Body surface, protozoans, poriferous, colintrates. Book lungs, spider, scorpion, ticks, mites. Book gills, king, crab, prawn, crayfish, daphnia. Mental, mollusca, unio. Air bladder, longfish, bony fishes, example labio. Air sacs or lungs, birds. Blood, lymphatic system. Fluid connective tissue composed of plasma and blood cells. An adult person has 5 to 6 liter blood. It is slightly alkaline, having pH 7.3 to 7.4. Plasma is pale yellow transparent and constitutes about 60% blood volume of blood. Plasma is composed of 90 to 92% water, 7% organic substances, albumin, globulin and fibrinogen protein, and 1% inorganic substances. Red blood corpuscles, most abundant, are non-nucleated and contain hemoglobin and respiratory pigment. White blood cell or colorless, nucleated and granular or agranular. Eosinophils, also called acidophils 2 to 8%, are phagocytic granulocytes and play important role in hypersensitivity. Basophils 2% are non-phagocytic and increase in chickenpox. Page 122. Vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins given in a table. Column 1 vitamin. Column 2 name. Column 3 rich food source. Column 4 function and column 5 deficiency disease. Vitamin A, name retinol. Rich food sources, fish liver oils, dairy products, liver, most leafy vegetables and carrots containing carotene that can be converted into retinol. Function, needed for healthy epithelial cells, needed for regeneration of rhodospin in red cells of the eye. Deficiency disease, dry skin, night blindness. Vitamin D, name calciferol. Rich food source, fish oils, egg yolk, butter. It can be made by the action of sunlight on skin. Function, promotes absorption of calcium from intestines, necessary for formation of normal bone and reabsorption of phosphate from urine. Deficiency disease, rickets in children, soft bones that bend easily. Osteomalacia, painful bones in adults. Vitamin E, name tocopherol. Rich food source, vegetable oil, cereal products and many other foods. Function, in rats, formation of red blood cells affects muscles and reproductive system, unclear in humans. Deficiency disease, mild anemia and sterility in rats, deficiency is rare in humans. Phyloquinone, rich food source, fresh, dark, green vegetables also made by gut bacteria. Function, formation of prothrombin involved in blood clotting. Deficiency diseases, delayed clotting time may occur in newborn babies before their gut bacteria become established. Water-soluble vitamins. Column 1 vitamin, column 2 name, column 3 rich food source, column 4 function and column 5 deficiency disease. Vitamin B1, a name thiamine, rich food source, yeast, cereals, nuts, seeds, pork. Function, coenzyme in cell respiration necessary for complete release of energy from carbohydrates. Deficiency disease, beriberi, severe muscle wastage, stunted growth, nerve degeneration. Vitamin B12, name riboflavin, rich food source, liver, milk, eggs, green vegetables. Coenzyme in cell respiration, precursor of FAD. Deficiency disease, cracked skin, blurred vision. Vitamin B3, name niacin, rich food source, liver, yeast, whole cereals and beans. Function, coenzyme in cell respiration, precursor of NAD or NADP. Deficiency diseases, pellagra, severe skin problems, diarrhea, dementia. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, rich food source, meat, fish, eggs, cereals, bran, some vegetables. Function, interconversion of amino acids. Deficiency disease, skin problems, nerve disorder. Vitamin B5, pantothenic acid, rich food source, animal tissue, whole grain, cereals, legumes. Function, need to manufacture adrenal hormone. Deficiency disease, unclear. Vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin, rich food source, liver, milk, fish, yeast, none in plant foods. Function, maturation of red blood cells in bone marrow, maintenance of myelin sheath of nerves. Deficiency diseases, pernicious anemia, nerve disorders. Vitamin B10, name folic acid, rich food source, liver, raw green vegetables, yeast, gut bacteria. Function, formation of nucleic acids, formation of red blood cells, deficiency disease, anemia, especially during pregnancy. Vitamin C, ascorbic acid, rich food source, blackcurrants, peppers, sprouts, citrus fruits. Function, formation of collagen and intercellular cement. Disease, scurvy, poor wound dealing. Page 123. Blood groups, genotypes and their transfusion possibility. In a table are given column 1 blood groups phenotype, column 2 antigen in red blood cells, column 3 antibodies in plasma, column 4 can give blood to groups, column 5 can receive blood from groups, column 6 genotype. Blood group phenotype O, antigen in red blood cells none, antibodies in plasma anti-A, anti-B, can give blood groups to O, A, B, AB, can receive blood group from O. Genotype 1010. Blood group A, antigen in red blood cells A, antibodies in plasma anti-B, can give blood to groups A and B, can receive blood from group O and A. Genotype 1A, 1A or 1A, 1O. Blood group B, antigen in red blood cells B, antibodies in plasma anti-A, can give blood to groups B and AB, can receive blood from groups O and B. Genotype 1B, 1B or 1B, 1O. Blood group AB, antigen in red blood cells A and B, antibodies in plasma none, can give blood to groups AB, can receive blood from group O, A, B and AB. Genotype 1A, 1B. Neutrophils 65% are phagocytic and increase during bacterial infection. Monocytes 0.5% are agranulocytes called policemen of blood and increase in tuberculosis. Lymphocytes 26% are agranulocytes producing antibodies and increasing during viral infection. Platelets, thrombocytes are non-nucleated. Rh factor discovered by Landsteiner and Wiener and rhesus monkey is responsible for erythroblastose fetalis disease. Important component of blood clotting are fibrinogen, prothrombin, thromboplastin, calcium ions and vitamin K. Heart. Human heart is myogenic, that is, contraction is initiated by sinoarterial node, SA node, located in right atrium. It is also called a pacemaker. First heart sound is lub and second heart sound is dub. Contraction of heart is called systole, 120 mmHg, while relaxation is called diastole, 80 mmHg. Excretion. Excretion is the elimination of harmful waste products from the animal body to regulate the composition of body fluids and tissues. Human excretory system composed of 2 kidneys. Nephron is structural and functional unit. Color of urine is pale yellow. It is due to the pigment urochrome. Human urine contains 95% water, 2% salts, 2.6% urea and 0.3% uric acid. pH of urine is 6.0, mildly acidic. Main excretory organs, excretory organ and the animal. Contractile vacuole, amoeba. Flame cells or solenocytes, tapeworm. Rennet cell, ascaris. Nephridia, earthworm. Malpighian tubes, cockroach. Coxal glands, scorpion. Green glands, prawn. Main excretory products, product and the animal. Ammonia, most invertebrates, fishes, amphibia. Urea, ascaris, earthworm, cartilaginous fishes, amphibian and mammals. Uric acid, insects, land, reptiles, birds. Amino acids, molluscs, echinoderms. The urine on standing gives a pungent smell. It is due to conversion of urea into ammonia by bacteria. Specific gravity of urine is 1.015 to 1.025. Volume of urine is 1 to 2 liters per day. Central nervous system. The brain is the organizing and processing center. It is the site of consciousness, sensation, memory and intelligence. The brain receives impulses from the spinal cord and from 12 pairs of cranial nerves coming from and extending to the senses and to other organs. In addition, the brain initiates activities without environmental stimuli. 3 major portions of the brain are recognized: the hindbrain, midbrain and the forebrain. Page 124. Important functions of brain. Forebrain, olfactory region, smell. Cerebrum, thinking, intelligence, memory, ability to learn from experience, willpower, skilled work, reasoning, knowledge, conscious speech. Control, laughing, weeping, micturition, passing of urine, defecation, voluntary forced breathing, voluntary muscular coordination. Diencephalon, sensation of. Heat, cold and pain, control center of autonomic nervous system, control hunger, thirst, sweating, sleep and sex. Hypothalamus, regulated body temperature, so thermostat of body. Appetite and safety, control emotions like love, anger, pleasure and satisfaction. Control metabolism of carbohydrate, fat and water. Midbrain, reflex center of visual and auditory sensation. Hindbrain, cerebellum, involuntary muscular coordination, maintain posture, orientation and equilibrium of the body. Medulla oblongata, regulate heart rate, involuntary breathing, respiratory center, blood pressure, vasoconstriction and vasodilation, gut peristalsis, food swallowing, vomiting, gland secretion. Ecology. Ecology, termed used by Ritter, deals with various principles which govern the relationship between organisms and their environment. Pyramid of number is upright in grassland and pond ecosystem while inverted in tree ecosystem. Pyramid of biomass is upright in grassland and forest ecosystem whereas inverted in pond ecosystem. Pyramid of energy is always upright. Pollution. Motor vehicle contribution 60% of air pollution in major cities. Photochemical smog comprising of O3, H2O2, PAN, etc. Carbon monoxide has 250 times more binding with hemoglobin as compared to oxygen. Burning of fossil fuel is main cause of SO2 pollution. Acid rain is composed of H2SO4 and HNO3. Chlorofluorocarbons released into stratosphere release free chlorine atom that causes depletion of ozone. Sewage is major source of water pollution. Pollutants in news. Bioremediation is the process of using microorganisms to remove environmental pollutant is an eco-friendly manner. Example, oil zapper. Biomagnification is increases in concentration of persistent chemicals by organisms in successive trophic levels. Diclofenac is a drug substance used in animal drugs and painkillers for humans which is proved lethal for vultures if feeded upon caricatures of such humans or animals. Endosulfan is an organic pollutant used as a pesticide in southern states for cashew crops which is otherwise banned world over. Chernobyl disaster occurred in Ukraine, USSR 26 April 1986 due to explosion of nuclear power station. Nitrate fertilizers caused blue baby syndrome or hypoglobulinemia. Noise pollution is measured in decibels beyond 80 dB. Biotechnology. Biotechnology consists of controlled use of biological agents such as microorganisms or cellular components for beneficial use. The enzyme, or which case internal cuts in DNA, are called restriction, endonucleases, and the site as recognition sites. Cryopreservation is conservation of germplasm at -190 degrees Celsius liquid nitrogen. Humulin is genetically engineered insulin. Page 125. Gene revolution. Gene revolution uses biotechnology, BT, to create new genetically modified GM crops. Genomics is the study of an organism's entire genetic instructions. Genetically modified crops can potentially produce more food with fewer chemicals and higher nutritional value than traditional crops. Bt cotton was the first GM crop developed in India, having resistance against bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis. Effect of heavy metal water pollution in man. Metal and the toxic effect. Cadmium, diarrhea, bone deformation, kidney damage, retarded growth, CNS injury, Itai disease, etc. Copper, hypertension, uremia, coma, etc. Mercury, abdominal pain, headache, hemolysis, diarrhea, Minamata disease, etc. Lead, anemia, vomiting, brain damage, etc. Chromium, cancer, nephritis, gastrointestinal ulcer, etc. Zinc, vomiting, renal damage, cramps, etc. Cobalt, paralysis, low blood pressure, bone defects, lung irritation, etc. Smallest in the world. In a table are given bacteria, Dialista. Smallest bird, hummingbird, Cuba. Smallest bone, stapes. Endocrine gland, pituitary. Flower, Wolfia microscopia. Mammal, shrew, Suncus citruscus. Muscles, stapedius or erector pili. Virus, foot and mouth disease virus. Some antibiotics developed through biotechnology. Antibiotic and the microbial source. Penicillin by Penicillium notatum P. chrysogenum. Antibiotic bacitracin by Bacillus subtilis. Antibiotic cephalosporin by Cephalosporium acrimonium. Antibiotic fulvin by Penicillium griseofulvum. Antibiotic streptomycin by Streptomyces cerevisiae. Antibiotic tetracycline by S. erythraeus. Antibiotic erythromycin by S. aureofaciens. Antibiotic chloramphenicol by S. venezuelae. Antibiotic cycloheximide by S. gyrius. Largest in the world? Mammal on land, African elephant, Loxodonta africana. Mammal in biosphere, blue whale. Flower, Rafflesia. Flower in India, Sapria. Vertebra, lumbar vertebra. Bone, femur. Bone in frog, tibia fibula. Muscles, gluteus maximus, buttock muscle of hip. Tooth, tusk of elephant, upper incisor modification. Tallest angiosperm, eucalyptus. Tallest gymnosperm, Sequoia sempervirens, Sequoia gigantea. Coral reef in Australia, Great Barrier Reef. Egg or cell, ostrich. Vein, inferior vena cava. Artery, abdominal aorta. Cell of body, neuron of nerve cell. Virus, parrot fever virus. Page 126. Some human diseases caused by viruses. In a table, column 1 disease, column 2 pathogen, column 3 incubation, column 4 symptoms, and column 5 vaccines. Disease, chickenpox, varicella, pathogen, herpes zoster virus. Incubation 12 to 20 days. Symptoms, dark red color rash or pox changing into vesicles, crusts and falling. Disease, smallpox, pathogen, variola virus. Incubation 12 days. Symptoms, appearance of rash changing into pustules, scabs and falling pockmarks are left. Vaccine, smallpox vaccine. Disease, poliomyelitis, pathogen, poliovirus. Incubation 7 to 14 days. Symptoms, damages motor neurons causing stiffness of neck, convulsions, paralysis of generally legs. Vaccine, Salk vaccine and oral polio vaccine, OPV. Disease: measles, rubella disease, pathogen rubella virus. Incubation 10 days. Symptoms: rubella skin eruptions, coughing, sneezing, etc. Vaccines: Idomonston B vaccine, isolation. Disease: mumps, pathogen mumps virus, incubation 12 to 26 days. Symptoms: painful enlargement of parotid and salivary glands. Vaccines: mumps vaccine, isolation. Disease: rabies, hydrophobia, pathogen rabies virus, incubation 10 days to 1 to 3 months. Symptoms: a spasm of throat and chest muscles, fears from water, paralysis and death. Vaccine: immunization of dogs. Next table: some human diseases caused by bacteria. Column 1 disease, column 2 pathogen, column 3 incubation period, column 4 symptoms and column 5 vaccines. Disease: tuberculosis, pathogen Mycobacterium tuberculosis, incubation period 2 to 10 weeks. Symptoms: coughing, chest pain and bloody sputum with tuberculin. BCG vaccine. Diphtheria, pathogen Corynebacterium diphtheriae, incubation period 2 to 6 days. Symptoms: inflammation of mucosa of nasal chamber, throat, etc. Respiratory tract is blocked. Vaccines: DPT vaccine. Cholera, pathogen Vibrio cholerae, incubation period 6 hours to 2 to 3 days. Symptoms: acute diarrhea and dehydration. Vaccine: sanitation, boiling of water and cholera vaccine. Disease: leprosy, pathogen Mycobacterium leprae, incubation period 2 to 5 years. Symptoms: skin hypopigmentation, nodulated skin, deformity of fingers and toes, lepromin in skin tests. Vaccine: isolation. Disease: tetanus, lockjaw, pathogen Clostridium tetani, incubation period 3 to 21 days. Symptoms: degeneration of motor neurons, rigid jaw muscle, spasm and paralysis. Vaccine: ATS and DPT vaccines. Disease: typhoid, pathogen Salmonella typhi, incubation period 1 to 3 weeks. Symptoms: classic typhoid fever, viral test. Vaccine: TAB vaccine and screening of food and water. Diseases: plague, pathogen Pasteurella pestis, incubation period 2 to 6 days. Symptom: bubonic plague affects lymph nodes, pneumonic plague affects lungs and septicemic plague causes anemia. Vaccine: killing of rats and rat fleas plague vaccine. Disease: gonorrhea, pathogen Neisseria gonorrhoeae, incubation period 2 to 10 days. Symptoms: inflammation of urogenital tract. Vaccines: avoid prostitution. Disease: pneumonia, pathogen Diplococcus pneumoniae, incubation period 1 to 3 days. Symptoms: decrease in respiratory efficiency. Vaccine: isolation. Disease: salmonellosis, pathogen Salmonella enteritidis, incubation period 48 hours. Symptom: decrease in diarrhea. Symptom is diarrhea. Vaccine: isolation. Page 127. Protozoan diseases. Column 1 disease, column 2 pathogen and column 3 vector. Disease: diarrhea, pathogen which is the causative agent is Giardia, vector non-infection by contamination. Disease: Kala Azar, pathogen Leishmania donovani, vector sandfly Phalobotamus. Malaria: Plasmodium sp, female Anopheles mosquito. 1. Benign tertian malaria, pathogen P. vivax. 2. Malignant tertian malaria, pathogen P. falciparum. 3. Quartan malaria, pathogen P. malariae. 4. Oval malaria, pathogen P. ovale. 5. Quotidian malaria, pathogen more than one species of Plasmodium. Disease carrier insects. Insect diseases in a table. Insect housefly disease, anthrax, diarrhea, tuberculosis, leprosy, typhoid, cholera, etc. Mosquitoes: malaria, filariasis, dengue, fever, yellow fever, etc. Kissing bug, Chagas disease. Rat flea, bubonic plague. Sandfly, Kala Azar. Tsetse fly, African sleeping sickness. Bedbug, typhus fever. Human diseases caused by fungi. human diseases, and then the name of the fungus. Aspergillosis, Aspergillus flavus, A. fumigatus, A. niger. Blastomycosis, Blastomyces dermatitis. Candidiasis, Candida albicans. Chromomycosis, Cladosporium corionoi. Coccidiomycosis, Coccidioides immitis. Cryptococcicosis, Lipomyces newfarmans. Geotrichosis, Geotrichum candidum. Histoplasmosis, Histoplasma capsulatum. Neuritis, Mucocilus. Onchomycosis, Trichophoton purpureum. Spototrichosis, Spototrichium scanfli. Animal diseases caused by fungi. Disease and the fungus. Athlete foot, Tinea rubrum. Ringworm, Trichophoton microsporum epidermophytum. Mycosis, Mucorrhizopus. Aspergillosis, Aspergillus. Penicilliosis, Penicillium. Important vaccines discoverer. Vaccine and discovered by. Smallpox, Edward Jenner, 1786. Cholera, Louis Pasteur, 1880 of France. Diphtheria, Emil et al. Von Behring and Sibasuboroi, Kitasato of Germany and Japan respectively, 1891. Tuberculosis, Leon Calmet and Vamil Guerin, 1992, Paris. Polio, Jonas E. Salk, 1954, Pittsburgh, U.S. Oral polio, Albert Bruce Sabin, 1995, U.S. Measles, John F. Enders, 1960, USA. Rabies, Charles Nicole, 1909, France. Immunological tests and diseases. Test and then the disease. Ames test, carcinogenicity. Dick test, scarlet fever. Mantox test, tuberculosis. Rose-Wohler test, rheumatoid fever. Schick test, diphtheria. Wassermann test, syphilis. Weidel test, typhoid. Weizenstein test, plague. Tourniquet test, dengue fever. ELISA, AIDS. Page 128. Important medical discoveries. Column 1 discovery, column 2 made by, and column 3 country. Antibiotic, Alexander Fleming, 1928, Scotland. Antiseptic, Joseph Lister, 1867, Scotland. Blood circulation, William Harvey, 1628, Britain. Blood transfusion, J.B. Dennis, 1625, France. Cholera and TB germs, Robert Koch, 1883, Germany. Electrocardiogram, ECG, William Inthoven, 1903, Dutch. CT scan, Godfrey Hounsfield, 1973, England. Sphygmomanometer, Scipione Rivia Rocchi, 1898, Italy. Stethoscope, Ren Lenny, 1819, France. Thermometer, Sir Thomas Albert, 1867, England. Ultrasound, Ian Donald, 1950, Ireland. X-ray, W. Rontgen, 1895, Germany. Electroencephalogram, EEG, Hansberger, 1929. Next column, major inventions and their inventors. Column 1, inventions. Column 2, inventors. Column 3, country. Air conditioner, Carrier, USA. Airplane, jet engine, Ohain, Germany. Aerosol spray, Eric Rothheim, Norway. Artificial heart, William Kolff, Netherlands. Automatic rifle, John Browning, Germany. Bifocal lens, Benjamin Franklin, USA. Cement, Portland, Joseph Aspdin, Britain. Chemotherapy, Ehrlich, Germany. Cloning DNA, Boyer Cohen, USA. Cloning mammal, Wilmot et al., UK. CT scan, Hounsfield, Britain. Disc brake, Dr. F. Lanchester, Britain. DNA structure, Crick, UK, Watson, US, Wilkins, UK, US. Fiber optics, Kepenny, Britain. Frequency modulation, FM, E. H. Armstrong, USA. HIV, Martiniere, France. Hydrogen bomb, Edward Teller, USA. Intelligence testing, Simon Binet, France. Loudspeaker, Horace Short, France. Microprocessor, Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore, USA. Microwave oven, Percy LeBaron Spencer, USA. MRI, The Median, USA. Neolamp, Gorges Claude, France. Neutron bomb, Samuel Cohen, USA. Optical fiber, Narinder Company, Germany. Pacemaker, Zoll, USA. Radar, A.H. Taylor and Leo C. Young, USA. Skyscraper, W. Lee Baron Journey, USA. Supercomputer, J.H. Van Tassel, USA. Uranium fission atomic reactor, Szilard Fermi, USA. Vacuum cleaner, electric, Spangler, USA. Page 129. In a table, instruments and their uses. Column 1, instrument. Column 2, uses. Altimeter, it measures altitudes and is used in aircrafts. Ammeter, it measures strength of electric current in amperes. Audiometer, it measures intensity of sound. Carburetor, it is used in an internal combustion engine for charging air with petrol vapor. Cinematography, it is an instrument used in cinema making to throw on screen an enlarged image of photograph. Cyclotron, a charged particle accelerator which can accelerate charged particles to high energies. Electroscope, it detects presence of an electric charge. Endoscope, it examines internal parts of the body. Eudiometer, a glass tube for measuring volume changes in chemical reactions between gases. Lactometer, it determines the purity of milk. Microphone, it converts the sound waves into electrical vibrations and to magnify the sound. Phonograph, an instrument for producing sound. Photometer, the instrument compares the luminous intensity of source of light. Periscope, it is used to view objects above sea level, used in submarines. Pyrometer, it measures very high temperature. Radar, it is used for detecting the direction and range of an approaching plane by means of radio microwaves. Seismograph, it measures the intensity of earthquake shocks. Speedometer, it is an instrument placed in a vehicle to record its speed. Spherometer, it measures the curvatures of surfaces. Stereoscope, it is used to view two-dimensional pictures. Stethoscope, an instrument which is used by doctors to hear and analyze heart and lung sounds. Tachometer, an instrument used in measuring speeds of aeroplanes and motorboats. Next table, different branches of science. Column 1, branch. Column 2, concerned field. Aeronautics, science of flight of aeroplanes. Astronomy, study of heavenly bodies. Anthology, study of flowers. Anthropology, study of apes and man. Apiculture, honey industry, beekeeping. Biochemistry deals with the study of chemical reactions in relation of life activities. Cardiology, study of heart. Cryogenics, study concerning with the application and uses of very low temperature. Cytology, study of cells. Dermatology, study of skin. Evolution deals with the study of origin of new from old. Floriculture, study of flower-yielding plants. Genetics, study of heredity and variations. Gerontology, study of growing old. Horticulture, study of garden cultivation. Myology, study of muscles. Neurology, study of kidneys. Numismatics, a study of coins and medals. Obstetrics, branch of medicine dealing with pregnancy. Philology, study of languages. Pedology, study of soils. Pathology, study of diseases causing organisms. Physiology, study dealing with the study of functions of various parts of organisms. Pisciculture, study of fish. Seismology, study of earthquakes. Sericulture, silk industry, culture of silk moth and pupa. Serpentology, study of snakes. Taxonomy, study of classification of organism. Virology, study of virus. Page 130.